to Rapid Motion. We head off to the Northwest Province now to the Lichtenburg circuit for more Goldwagen Volkswagen Challenge. As per usual, all of this action is brought to you by Goldwagen. A slightly diminished field here this week, unfortunately, due to some of the competitors having some damaged vehicles, but yet we're still in for some great action as per usual, and we're looking forward to some superb stuff, especially in Class B, where Craig Murray has put it on pole position, but look how close it is up front there. There's less than a second between the top 8.
I'm very happy to be on pole again. I think the circuit suits me. I like the bumpiness, and also the car. I've got road suspension. I think I'm the only guy still running the road suspension, and I think I've got an advantage over the other guys for a change with the road suspension because of the bumps. Yeah, that's it.
And being a short circuit, of course, it's just a traffic jam throughout a race.
Yes, very much so. I think the first 6 guys is within half a second from each other on the start, so it's going to be close.
Waiting for the start to get underway, and joining me in the commentary booth, as per usual, Graham Nathan. We're in for some fun and games here, Graham.
Absolutely, thanks, Greg. As you can see on the outside, you got Peter Thompson in second place. He's the oldest campaigner in VWChallengeSA, probably one of the oldest racers in the country, but right in with the action and on board with Chad Bartram, giving Jake Vermeulen a light tap just to tell him that he's there, just to make sure that he knows that he cannot rest for 1 minute. He's going to be all over him all the time.
It's great to see action here at Lichtenburg. It always proves to be a track where there's lots of bumper bashing and little taps here and there. And here we see on board with Bartram at the moment looking for a way past, but he hasn't found one just yet as the top end of the field head down towards this big right-hander.
Absolutely hard on the brakes, going out into the bottom. We've got Craig Murray out in front, Peter Thompson second, and Gerard Henning out there in third place. A great performance after his previous win out at Pekisa. He's on form and he wants to go to the front again.
Now he's looking for a way past Peter Thompson as they come down the main straight away now. This is a 1.6 kilometre course, so it makes it 1 mile, and it's great to see such action happening over this mile. But looks like Henning is looking for a way past. He hasn't found one just yet. He tucks in line astern as they come through the double right-hander now. Now they set themselves up for this little tight left-hander, and Henning is pushing hard.
He is really pushing hard, but right behind him he's got Rob Prius, so he must pay attention all round, front, back, all over the show. Back on board with Chad Bartram. He runs it in. Oh, and Jacques Vermeulen runs it a little bit wide, but so does Darren Knipe. He's had to go defensive. Jacques Vermeulen is definitely have to go defensive down the bottom here.
Yeah, as he goes up the inside, Darren Knight coming under pressure now from Chad Bartram. There's 2 cars abreast through the right-hander. Vermeulen just sneaks in once again. Oh, looks like there's problems up ahead here. Pick a line and drive through, that's the rule. But there's just dust everywhere. And of course, without any of the rain happening here in the northwest, as around the country, it's going to be very difficult to see. We saw Gerard Henning making a fantastic move. He's up to first place. So there must have been a problem somewhere on the circuit. And I think that's what we saw with all that dust. Craig Murray getting it completely wrong.
Yeah, I reckon Craig put a wheel off and Gerard just went straight from third to first place. He probably couldn't believe his luck. Peter Thompson down to third, Rob Prius all over the back of Peter's car, and these guys are going at it flat out. There's absolutely nothing in between them.
On board with Darren Knight now, and looks like Jacques Vermeulen has got ahead of Knight, so he's going to be under pressure as I speak from Chad Bartram. So the 2 cameramen battling it out on the circuit as they head down the hill into the right-hander. This is going to be tough stuff between these 2 boys. Darren Knight's lost a bit of ground. Bartram pulling away, and it looks like Knight might have a little bit of a problem on this car, in fact.
Yeah, it looks like he's battling a little bit for some other reason. He doesn't have the straight line speed that the rest of the guys have got, but he hasn't given up. He's trying hard, and he's probably going to get it back. But let's go back to the leaders, because Rob Prius has managed to get up to third place. Craig Murray is now under pressure from Rob, while Gerard Henning just goes away a little bit.
On board with Darren Knight once again. He's right on the tailpiece here and pushing hard. I can tell you something, it looks as if Darren Knight has managed to sort that problem out that we saw a little bit earlier, but not able to get up there with the battle with Bartram, because Bartram's just ahead of the car in picture at the moment. That is 79.
That's Liesl Viljoen. This is one up for the lady. She is doing a superb job. She's showing the boys the way around here.
So Liesl Viljoen cat amongst the pigeons, is it? She's doing a great job though, and let me tell you something, she's pushing hard. Gerard Henning under pressure now. Prius up into second place. Craig Murray in third. Peter Thompson's dropped off that battle for those first 4 positions, but he's still in 4th place, and he's only just ahead there of Jacques Vermeulen.
Yeah, the pace is absolutely blistering at the moment. Gerard Henning is under huge pressure from Rob Prius, who's under huge pressure from Craig Murray. These guys have just not given up at all.
Now as they go through the big right-hander now, this will take them onto the main straight. Gerard Henning hanging on for dear life. Robbie Prius, he's trying hard, but he hasn't found a way past. Maybe some of the back markers now will come into effect for these boys and possibly give him an opportunity of getting past.
Some really tight up their battles right down the field, right to 8th, 9th, 10th position, back on board with Darren Knight. He's still behind Liesl Viljoen. She is trying as hard as she possibly can to keep that 7th spot away from him. He's going to go at it. He's not going to, no respect, no love lost here. He's going to stick it up the inside if he has to and bump her right off the road.
Now, not going to be an easy thing to do, though, I can tell you that much, because I'll tell you something, old Derek Minnie is pushing that golf of his to its limit as they go in amongst the back markers. Back to the front end of the field. Here comes Rob Prius up the inside of Henning. Henning goes defensive, locks up the brake slightly there, so it slowed him up through the double right-hander, and now onto the main straight. Robbie Prius has got a good drive.
Unbelievable stuff, but this is to the line, and Gerard Henning might just be able to do it. He has been able to hold him off. Rob Prius runs 2nd, Craig Marie runs 3rd, and Peter Thompson is in 4th spot.
Great run there, half a second difference between Henning and Prius at the top. Craig Marie in 3rd place, Peter Thompson in 4th, and Jacques Vermeulen hung on to 5th place. Well done to Liesl Viljoen in 7th.
Get the opportunity, you stick your nose and hope the Oaks don't bump you off, but if you kept it clean, the Oaks has got the reputation to keep it clean. So yeah, that was very nice.
But you've been at Goldwagen racing quite a while. I mean, you won the championship before as well.
Yes, yeah, we were lucky to win the championship a couple of years ago, and but with the business we were quite busy, but we came back now and slowly but surely we'll get into it again.
Right, moving on to classes A and P, and Wayne Masters putting it on pole position for Class A, and Derek Smallberger with a great effort to get it onto pole for Class P.
Thanks to my team Performance Masters, we've been working hard on this car. And we had our first pole in Pekisa, the last race, and now we've got a double pole today. But we just need to turn it into a win. That's what we've been looking for.
Well, there's about 11 other guys near you. They're not going to allow that to happen.
No, I'm sure they're going to try and stop me doing that today. But we're going to do our best.
Jonas Waykar on pole position, and he gets away quite nicely, but he's already under pressure from George Economides, who's on his left-hand side as they go into turn number 1. Jason Finney up the inside and looking for a way past, as well as we go on board with Ray Wolford and the Fuchs Lubricants Volkswagen Polo.
Ray needs to get inside really, really quickly because everybody will go up the inside of him, but they've put George Economides on the outside, which is the inside for the next left-hander. Jason Finney under pressure, hanging around the outside. George Economides and Jason touch. George goes defensive. Ray has to brake and wait to see what's going on here. George goes back down the inside. Jason is going to go slightly defensive, but I don't think enough. George is going to get in there.
Yeah, it's not enough room there. George Economides is a wily campaigner when it comes to Volkswagen Challenge, and you cannot give him that much room. Here we go with Class P, Derek Smallberger, Sabre Tech Volkswagen Polo, and he is up ahead of Jakes Jacobs in the Nathan's Motorsport and pushing very hard right at the back there.
He's going as hard as he can, but in 3rd place you've got Wouter Roos. It's a really newcomer to this series, and he's doing a great job. But back to the leaders. We've got Jason Finney pushing George Economides. Wayne Masters, because of the scrapping, has got a bit of a gap. He's going away a little bit. Can he hang on to that lead, or will George be able to take it back?
No, I tell you something, Wayne Masters is pulling away there, as you said, because of all the scrapping happening here for 2nd place. But Ray Wolford also falling off here slightly, so I'm not quite sure why Ray hasn't been able to stick in there, because Finney and Economides are at it, hammer and tongs. And a little bit further back there, you can see Wolford coming under pressure from the likes of Jürgen Pillhofer and Andy Gossman.
These guys are going at it flat out. Oh, Eddie Rodriguez tries to put it up the inside of Jürgen Pillhofer, but Jürgen says, no, not now, and he slams the door. Let's go back to the leader. Wayne Master is putting his head down. He's going away as hard as he possibly can. But George Economides, Jason Finney, Ray Wolford, Andy Gosman. Oh, look at this! A big crash here, and right through the fence goes Eddie Rodriguez. He's put sand over all the spectators, but a huge incident there. Jürgen Pillhofer also falling right off the road due to that incident. Everybody else gets through. Jake Jacobs, as you can see, we're on board with him now, putting huge pressure on Derek Smallberger. And as Jürgen Pillhofer comes back to the field, he's going to be right at the back of this field as soon as he rejoins.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Jürgen Pillhofer tried to turn in a little bit early there. I'm not quite sure why, but that tapped Eddie Rodriguez and put him into the spin, and the two of them ended up in the kitty litter. In fact, probably ended up on the braai. That's how bad it was. Back on board with Ray Wolford and looking at the battle for 2nd and 3rd, just ahead of him. He's sitting in 4th place. You can see the yellow flags waving frantically as they come back down to where that incident happened. It doesn't look like Eddie Rodriguez has been able to make it back onto the circuit.
Yeah, there's so much dust there. He's so far down in the dirt, they're not going to find him for quite a while. But as you can see, Jake Jacobs putting huge pressure on Derek Smallberger. This battle is for the front position in Class P, and Jakes is pushing hard. He wants that place, and Derek wants that place. These guys will give each other the respect they deserve, but they're not going to give each other too much.
Yeah, we saw that at VWChallengeSA where they gave each other a little bit of room and both spun out almost on the same corner. But then, of course, that's what it's all about in Class P. These are the ex-national polos, and they are trying everything they know to get everything they can out of these motor vehicles. Back to the front end of the field, it's Wayne Masters under some big pressure from Economides. And look at that, Jason Finney just in the background waiting for a mistake.
Oh, Wayne runs it wide, Greg. He's run it wide again. The last time he was here, he lost the wheel on exactly the same corner, and he ran off the road. But he's managed to keep it on. He's going to join right back in turn number 3. He's missed 1 and 2. He'll just join on 3, and let's see if he can get in there.
It doesn't look like he's been able to do that. I think Ray Wilford's going to keep him at bay because he's going to take the third position away from him in the Fuchs car. Yes, he has. So it's Jason Finney now who's up in the second place. Well, he's got back at him. Masters has got back at Ray Wilford. That must have happened down at the back end of the circuit. But it's all about this battle between Wilford now, and look at that, Gossman just looking for a way past as well.
Yeah, I think Wayne Masters must be kicking himself for that mistake, but he was probably just looking in his mirror, having a look how far George was, and he missed the breaking point by an absolute fraction, and that was the end of that. But Ray Wilford is not going to let him go. He's going to have a lifeline here, and he's going to have a go at him. Rice wide in, to the apex, to the outside, full throttle, and up the road they go.
Well, problems for one of the polos parked on the side there. Henry van Vliet is also under a bit of pressure here from Gavin Ross. They are going at it hammer and tongs. It's the Batmobile versus the Norbrake car, and up front here, well, it's going to be tight stuff between these boys as they come across the line. Let's see if they're side by side. Van Vliet gets ahead. Gavin Ross tucks in right behind him now onto the braking markers. Just behind there we see Derek Smallberger. Look, he's pulled a little bit of a gap there ahead of Jake Jacobs as we follow Gavin Ross through and see what's going to happen between these boys. We're on board with Smallberger looking at that battle.
Absolutely tough stuff here. These guys are flat out. Gavin is not giving up. He's unfortunately not where he wants to be. His car is not performing. But as you can see, Valdi Mankis is now putting a whole bunch of pressure on Jake Jacobs. What is happening with Jake's car? Does he have a problem? Did he make a mistake? Let's have a look at the front here again. George Economides under huge pressure from Jason Finney.
Yeah, it's going to be tight stuff all the way to the line. There's only a couple of seconds between it. In fact, 0.3 of a second as they cross the line. It's Economides ahead of Jason Finney in the Giada IT car. He's going to finish up in second place ahead of Wayne Masters in third place in the Jonas Ray Tools car. And then it's Ray Wilford followed by Andy Gossman. Class P, it's Derek Smallberger who hangs on ahead of Jake Jacobs. Valdi in third, Vota in fourth, and Clayton LaRue with a DNF.
Yeah, our qualifying wasn't as good as we wanted. It was 4,000s off Wayne, but we started on the good side of the track. We had a pretty good start. Jason and I had a tussle on this right-hander over here. Allowed Wayne to get away. I finally got into second and chased Wayne down, and within 2 laps, I think he outbraked himself in the sweep, and that was Wayne.
More action with B's and C's as they get underway, and what another great start here from Craig Murray. Peter Thompson alongside him and looking to get into turn 1 in second place. He does just that. And then it's Gerard Henning as we go on board with Darren Knight, the Motorhouse Volkswagen Golf, in fourth place.
Darren is going to put a huge bunch of pressure. He's running a bit wide. Why is that? Oh, there's the answer. They have gone up the inside of him. Look at that. Darren was forced to the outside, and now Chad Bartram's going, if you nap any longer, I'm going to come through.
Yeah, Rob Prius managed to sneak up there into fourth place. Darren Knight takes evasive action, change of surface flag, and just to mention the fact, look at the surface conditions here. We definitely need a little bit of support for this circuit. It makes for great racing, but it definitely has deteriorated over the last couple of years. We don't want to see another motor racing circuit go to waste.
As you can see, Darren Knight has just been passed by Chad Bartram. He decides to go defensive. He goes to the other side. Robbie's auto motor car, Gerard Henning's trying to get the slipstream, but Chad Bartram is hanging on the inside. Chad has got the line.
Yeah, he's bringing Jacques Vermeulen with him as well. Look at that. Up the inside, looks like Darren Knight's going to follow them because he realizes that's the quicker line. Gerard Henning's going to be left on the outside. And we can see safety car board coming out there. So it looks like there's been a problem out on the circuit somewhere. The yellow flags are out and the safety car board is out. Hopefully no one going to be injured in the incident. But let's just stay on board for now. No overtaking. They've seen the safety car board and they've seen the yellow flags. Yellow flags waving. Here's the incident. Looks like it's down here at the double right-hander. One of the cars stricken in the circuit there. Is that Stuart Mack? I think it might be.
No, yeah, it is. It is Stuart Mack. Unfortunately, that's the end of his race. They're trying to pull him off with one of the pace cars and a whole bunch of horsepower from the marshals. But let's go back to the racing. The green flags are going, and Craig Murray has got himself a fabulous start. Peter Thompson was napping. Where were you, Uncle Peter?
Having a little kip on the circuit there. Only one lap under safety car conditions and we're back under with proper racing. And this is definitely proper racing. You don't get much closer than this. Not even in the Nationals sometimes. But here we go, back to the front of the field. Peter Thompson under some big pressure now. Prius has got past him. He's looking for Chad Bartram, also looking for a way past. Change of surface conditions still out there. And here they come down towards the double right-hander. And it's just fanning out of Volkswagens all over the track.
Here it comes. Brakes. Late. Not late. No brakes. Let's see what happens. Peter gets through. Chad gets through. And so does Vermeulen. Jacques Vermeulen also gets through. They just want to try and get right on the back of Craig Marais' motorcar. But he has done a great job to get away.
He has indeed, but he's got Rob Prius closing down on him every single lap, and they're closing that gap quite quickly. Peter Thompson now still under that pressure from Bartram and Vermeulen. Bartram looking for a way past, hasn't found it just yet. They're going to the right-hander now, onto the brakes, set the car up nicely. Darren Knight just behind him, our cameraman. I'm sure we're going to go back on board with him a little bit later as he gets into the fray here for second, third and fourth place.
Unbelievable stuff. Peter Thompson really driving as hard as he can to hang on to Rob Prius at the moment. But let's have a look here. We've still got Craig Marais out in front, but Rob Prius has caught him. Craig Marais has got to put his foot down and put his head down and go. Otherwise, Rob Prius is going to have that shot.
Well, he's got 5 laps to try and catch him. He's caught to the back of him. Is he going to be able to find a way past? Is Rob Prius going to find it? I'm not quite sure just yet because Marais seems to realise that he's now under some pressure, and Robbie Prius is not an easy man to keep at bay.
Peter Thompson just hanging in there. If these two guys start going defensive, then Peter's going to come straight back at them. But at the moment, Craig Marais got his head down. He's driving the line. Rob Prius has a look up the inside. Craig Marais says, no, not here. But Rob Prius goes wide. He's going to try and get the slingshot up the straight and push him with pressure. There it is. There the pressure is. Craig Marais puts one wheel off. Rob Prius goes to the inside and says, thank you very much. I'll have that. I'll go to the front. I've got the inside line and the next corner's to the right.
Well, he's having a look across. He realises he's got ahead of him. He glitz onto the brakes very late, and we've got a new leader. Rob Prius has gone to the front of Class B, and he's got Craig Marais now, realising he's made a mistake, already putting pressure straight back onto him. That's what we like to see. Great bit of driving there from Craig Marais. He just comes straight back at Prius and says, right, you've got it now. We're on.
Absolutely awesome stuff. Craig Marais not giving up, not for 1 second. Rob Prius does definitely not have this his own way. He stops the wheel. He lifts the wheel off the ground. Rob Prius is having to go defensive. Craig Marais runs down the outside. He knows he's got pressure on Rob Prius. He has a look up the inside. Can he make it stick? No. Rob just slams the door in front of him and says, later, bud.
It's good to see such good clean racing between these top guys in Class B. You can see them just taking that elusive one manoeuvre and not trying anything more than that. It gives him the opportunity to the guy behind him to have a go.
Absolutely clean stuff. This is amazing stuff. In the Nationals, we block and box and crash, but these guys don't do any of that. Rob Prius has opened a bit of a gap. Craig Marais might have conceded the fact that he's not going to get there. He might have a problem. Peter Thompson has not given up yet either. He's hanging in there. Oh no, a problem. Is that a problem for Rob Prius? Craig Marais goes past. This is the checkered flag. Look at that on the last corner. Craig Marais goes by. But Rob Prius definitely has a problem because as you can see, he pulls straight off the road. Peter Thompson in third place, and in fourth place is Jacques Vermeulen.
Yeah, it looks as if there was actually a problem there on Prius's car. In fact, there was a problem with the lap scoring. We had to go 1 lap back due to 1 extra lap being added, and Prius takes the victory.
So Rob Prius, you just made it in time, although they did run the race extra lap.
It was tight at the end. I was watching the laps count down, and when I went past and said it was 1 more lap, I was happy. Then I dropped the fan belt, and I just had to get around 1 more lap, and luckily got it home and took the win.
Yeah, and we thought, as Craig came across the line, that he'd actually beaten you on the line, but it wasn't the case.
I thought he'd taken the first as well. I've just heard now recently that I've taken the win.
Back to the front end of classes A and P, and is Wayne Masters going to be able to capitalise on that very hard-fought pole position as they head down towards turn number 1? He's got Economides on his outside already, and look at that, Ray Wolford up into third place, Quinton Thompson just behind Jason Finney in 5th.
Some really tight stuff. George Economides is getting pushed wide, but Ray Wolford on the outside. Will he be able to hang on there for the next one? Is a right-hander, but I think George Economides is going to go defensive. Yes, he does. He goes Dr. Block on him, and he blocks the line. Look at that. George Economides is using up the whole road. Jason Finney right behind Ray Wolford, but we're on board with Ray Wolford going down to the bottom. Wayne Masters has put his head down and he's trying to get away.
Well, hopefully no more mistakes from Wayne Masters in this heat, and Jason Finney already up the inside there. There's Henry van Vletter just ahead of Gavin Ross, so that battle resumes. Let's see what's happening in Class P. A little bit further back there, not able to pick them up in that shot, but I'm sure we're going to go to them very soon as we see Masters across the line and complete the first lap.
Unbelievable stuff. George Economides is going back at him though. Ray Wolford is getting in the way of Jason Finney. Jason's going, come on. Quinton Thompson hanging in there, making up position around about number 8, but he is trying as hard as he can. And Jason Finney goes past Ray Wolford. He did it at the top corner. Jason Finney has gone to third. He wants to get to the front, on board with Derek Smallberger in the first of the Class P. Jake Jacobs has gone to the front. Jakes has gone to the front. He's taken the place away from Derek Smallberger, and he's driving as hard as he can to hold that position.
Yeah, I said to Derek, I think you've had the first one. I'm going to try and take the second one away from you. You're going to have to work hard in that Sabre Tech car of yours to catch my Nathan's Motorsport Polo as they come into the bottom right-hander now. This takes them onto the main straight. It's Jake Jacobs from that Sabre Tech car, and then we've got Valdi. They're in third place.
Yeah, some awesome racing here, even in the Class P Nationals, ex-national motorcars. These guys are going at it flat out. Jake's is full throttle. Valdi is full throttle, Derek's full throttle, but back to the leaders, and we've got Wayne Masters under huge pressure from George Economides, but right behind them we have Jason Finney. He's going, well guys, if you guys make the mistake, I'm going to have it. Ray Wolford falling off the pack a little bit, looks like he's got a problem. Whoa, running a little bit wide. Ray looks like he's got a bit of understeer, has the tyres died on this surface, but going down into the bottom corner, George Economides, is he going to get it done? He does. He throws it up the inside of Wayne Masters, and Wayne has nothing to do but get out of the way. Unbelievable stuff. Now Jason Finney, who should he go behind? He just slots in straight behind Wayne Masters, and down the straight they come.
Yeah, it's Golf 1 versus Golf 4 versus Golf 2 there as they come across the line. Unbelievable stuff that they can all race against each other, even though they're from such different eras. And here they go into the turn, the second turn, that's the right-hander. And it's all about Economides hanging on. Wayne Masters there still in second place. The Jonas Way car has not found a way back in front of Economides. But Jason Finney, as you said, Graham, is just sitting there and waiting for one of these oaks to make a mistake.
Jason Finney is just the third dog, and the two dogs are fighting over the bone. But as we can have a look here, Valdi Mainkies has not let go either. He's trying as hard as he possibly can to get to the front of Class P. In Velcom, he took 2 wins on board with Derek Smallberger, who's still chasing Jake Jacobs and in the lead, for the lead. He wants that lead. Jakes wants the lead. Jakes goes a little bit defensive, blocks the line a touch, gets back on the throttle and tries to run away down the straight.
Gets a nice bit of drive out of there, does Derek Smallberger. Is that going to be able to help him out? We'll have to wait and see. Back to the front of the field though, with 5 laps to go. They've opened up a little bit of a gap over 4th place man Andy Gossman, who's now got ahead of Ray Wolford, and Wolford is under pressure from the Batmobile of Henry van Vletter.
Absolutely. Ray has obviously got some kind of problem. I think he has got a tyre problem, but out in front we've got George Economides. He's riding up the inside. He is not going to... Oh, look at this. He throws it away. George Economides chucks it away. Wayne Masters has to go around the outside of him. And as I said, Jason Finney just says, thank you very much. I'll have that one now. And now you got to catch me.
Yeah, Finney went on the inside. That was a great bit of driving there from Jason Finney, because that was enabled him to get away from the rest of the field. We saw Wayne Masters have to take evasive action and go around the outside of Economides, but fortunately they had such a big gap that none of them have lost their opportunity of a podium position here today.
Unbelievable racing. And Jean Gerber right on the back of Henry van Vletter, back on board with Ray Wolford. As he has to avoid Andy Gossman. Andy obviously had a problem coming out of that corner. Ray Wolford just jerks the car to the left to miss him and manages to carry on with the race. Down the road he goes. Let's have a look. You can see Ray's battling to keep the nose in on that motor car. He's really struggling with the tyres, mate. Probably the surface that's destroyed them. But out in front we still have Jason Finney ahead of Wayne Masters, ahead of George Economides. He cannot believe he's thrown it away. Jake Jacobs under pressure. Has he run it wide? What is the... Derek Smallberger's up the inside. That's why he had to run it wide. But he's hanging on for dear life. Derek gives him the road. Jakes goes up the inside. Derek, unfortunately, on the inside for Jakes. And he blocks him. Jakes is definitely not going to get go. And he's going to put him under pressure right down to the line. Jake Jacobs wants this win. Derek took the first one. Jakes is waving at him going, come on, I want through ya.
It's awesome to see when they give the hand gestures. Come on, boys, let's get it on. And that's exactly what they're doing. Derek Smallberger pushing everything he can out of that motor vehicle. And he's working double time to keep this man that we're on board with in the Super Group Volkswagen Polo. Jake Jacobs is having a great time out there. They've pulled a big gap over 3rd place man Valdi Mainkies. But here we go back to the battle for 3rd place. You can see Economides just ahead of Wolford. Then it's Van Vletter. And then we go to the front end. And look at this. Jason Finney with his inaugural victory in Class A for the Volkswagen Challenge. What a great effort from the Giotto IT team. Top of the list, Finney from Masters, George Economides and Ray Wolford hanging on ahead of the Batmobile of Van Vletter, and Class P went to Smallberger ahead of Jacobs, Mainkies, Rus, and unfortunately, Clayton LaRue did not start this one either.
it was hard. George and Wayne were covering everywhere. George drives very well under pressure, but I think his brakes got the better of him down the bottom corner, and Wayne had nowhere to go, and I found a hole and I took it. Yeah.
He opened up a big gap.
Well, I think it took them a while to get going again, and hey, if you see a hole, you take it. With these guys, you can't spare the moment.
Well done to Craig Marais, who now takes the lead in the championship due to the fact that the Class P guys didn't have enough cars and Baldy Monkeys would not have scored full points. Once again, a great thanks to Goldwagen for all of this Volkswagen Challenge action. Next week on Rapid Motion, the Stanger Ford Super Saloon Series, Silver Cup Racing, and some more action from the Goldwagen Super Hatch class from Lichtenburg.